says working on your live stream. And you go to the 3, 2 count us in.
Yeah, ready? 3, 2, 1.
What's up, everybody? It's the Life on Life's Terms podcast. Back again. I'm Tom Robinson, a grateful recovering addict. And like I always say, we are not affiliated with any 12-step program. So they're not responsible for anything we do or say.
I am Chris Mandeville, and I am in long-term recovery. We are here at a New Way Recovery Center on Quincy Ave in Quincy, Mass. We are blessed to have them let us bring you this podcast from here. We are practicing social distancing.
You got it.
Definitely, yeah. There's definitely 6 feet in between us, and it, you can obviously tell by how far away the cameras are too, just to get us all in. You can find our audio podcast at lolterms.com.
Please subscribe.
Yes, if you could subscribe to that. If you're watching this right now, please share this podcast on your own page. If that would help us a lot.
Or if you hear it in the future.
Yeah.
Future us would be very, very grateful.
And like we always say, anyone that is willing to share their experience, strength, and hope with us on the podcast, please don't be shy to
reach out and let us know.
Reach out to us. So tonight we have a return guest that I've known for a while, Chris Perkins. He's originally from here, from Dorchester, but he's relocated out to California. And what was probably like a year and a half ago you were on?
2 years ago.
Yeah. And we're just going to check in and see what's going on.
Yeah, so you were an early.
Yeah, see what's going on out in Cali, and how this whole pandemic and all this crap and the fucking insane fires that are going on out there.
Yeah, man. Were we streaming live on YouTube, Facebook?
Yeah, Facebook last time.
Facebook.
I think.
We didn't have
but
the
I think
YouTube.
it might have just been my phone. Still.
Just the phone, probably.
Yeah,
I don't think it was the computer. So what's going on out in Cali? You came back for a little visit.
Yeah, I came back mostly to see family and do a little bit of work for a couple of clients of mine. Visit my mother mostly.
Yep.
Get in touch back with my friends, family.
How's the weather difference?
I mean, it was spiking 100 before I left.
Yeah, my buddy's out there. I forget what the fuck he said the other day. It was 121.
Yeah, it was.
Wow.
Fucking 121 degrees, and that was
Holy
in
crap.
That was like up. I don't even think it was out in the desert. I don't.
How's
think
your
it's probably
AC bill?
Sun Valley. You know what I mean? More
yeah, it was
likely.
fucking crazy.
But even LA City was probably spiking 100 the weekend I left. Right
I
before.
think that was right when the fire started.
Yeah.
So you were a boxer, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. You train still? Or?
Yeah, I still train. I mean, I
Nice.
haven't trained since the whole COVID thing started.
Yeah,
for
yeah.
3 or 4 months, but because gyms have been closed.
Yeah, right.
But yeah, I've competitively boxed for on and off for about 11 to 12 years.
Didn't they open up the gyms and then they closed them again?
Yes, they did.
Yeah.
They're open now.
Oh, that's good.
Like only if they're outside. If the work.
Okay.
If all the equipment is outside and it's social distance, they'll.
Who the fuck was be working out in the gym at 121?
Nobody. But
Fucking
people are willing to do whatever.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
I hear you.
Yeah.
There was even a point where they shut down all the sidewalks and trails and like everything that was like you could do to stay healthy at one point. Out
Really?
there. Yeah, it was crazy. They shut down like any type of hill walking situation you could possibly
And
think
like,
Wow.
that's a lot of fucking shit out there.
of. And even in Santa Monica, they put fencing up all over the sidewalks. I mean, you know how you could see over the ocean. Like they fenced off everything.
Wow.
It's a lot of man hours to tell
Yeah.
people they can't exercise.
Right. You can't even go out and get some fresh air.
No,
Wow.
I mean, you can, but it's risky.
Yeah. So, like, were there cops out patrolling and shit and, like, telling you to get home?
I mean, the government showed up at one point when there was rioting.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, the National Guard showed up because they were just destroying everything. A lot of businesses. My business got affected because I was working in businesses in Beverly Hills and couldn't get in them because they were all boarded up.
Yeah.
So it affected, my work and my workers.
Like,
and
why
stuff.
would you go up to Beverly Hills and fuck shit up?
Rich people, man. Rich
Yeah.
stuff. If you break, they broke into mostly stores that had value.
Oh, all right.
The
all
Nike
right.
store, the Converse store, the
Shit
Apple
that they could
stores.
just grab.
That's
pretty
just-
much anything that was worth
Let's
money.
go steal fucking telephones and iPads that have tracking on them, so that when we activate them, they know exactly where we are.
That's
believe
just,
it or not to put a conspiracy theory out there, but Apple knew beforehand, and they cleaned out all their stores prior to the riots. Most of the stores,
Yeah,
anyways.
yeah.
And they're owned by. I mean, we all know who they own.
Yeah,
owned
exactly.
By, but
Exactly.
it's a little bit of a mystery of what's really going on.
Mm-hmm.
Who's
Exactly.
Apple? Apple's owned
What's
by?
really going on? Well, just the people that are involved with all them. you know.
Publicly traded company. Yeah, they're a ginormous.
But it's funny, like a month or two later, you see people on Facebook Market selling this stuff like in bundles. It's like, why would you be that stupid and ignorant? Why wouldn't you just put one for sale instead of? I mean, I'm a veteran at criminal activity, but
Exactly. I'm maximizing my profit. I'm not wholesaling.
I'm not
shit,
basically
bro.
telling you that I have all this stuff that just magically came on the market overnight.
Yeah, right.
You know, it's,
Dude, you got to remember, drugs are expensive. People got to pay the drug dealers. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but I remember when I was out there, I was getting shit pretty cheap.
yeah, I mean,
You know.
stuff falling off the back of trucks like no tomorrow.
Ah, that's that's where I started doing meth. I think my 21st birthday, I was out there doing meth. I didn't go to the bar. I had already done all that shit in Brockton, at 17. So the bar scene was not a big deal. But yeah, I think I was doing that shit, and that shit was fucking disgusting.
Oh, crystal meth is
Yeah.
Yeah, it's an ugly drug. I really never
Really
got
is.
into it. I did it when I was like 16, 17 when I was stealing car radios, and my buddy told me it was coke, and I was up for 3 days stealing radios in the middle of broad daylight with people going to work, and I was like, never again.
Yeah.
You know what?
It
You
was
know
an
what
ugly
happened with
feeling.
me and Crystal is I thought it was supposed to feel like coke, so I was waiting. I was like, give me some more. Fucking
Yeah.
my eyes are like this
I
big.
was bringing it back or mailing it back, and then if I came back here, I'd bring it with me, and this was long before 9/11, so they weren't
Oh,
checking
yeah.
anything.
No, we used to do
You
it
could
with the
mail it.
bikers, and
Yeah,
they would
you
get
could
it
mail
FedExed.
it, no problem. And people were doing it like it was coke. They're like, dude, I've been up for 3 days. I'm like, how much of that shit you got left? They're like, none. I did it all. I'm like, what? I told you, a little match head, a little bump. That's all you need.
Yeah, it wasn't big in Boston back then. It was only big in the gay communities because a lot of people used to go there to get it.
Partying.
And for some reason, meth turns people gay, or gay actions for some reason, which is nothing against me, but
Yeah.
I hear stories from all these people, and I'm like, I don't understand it.
It's
See, back when I went,
it's
I
very
did it,
sensual. It
Yeah,
affects that parts of the
yeah, exactly,
your brain.
a mental issue.
back when
with
I
it.
did it, the only people around here who had it, I did it out west in California, but the only people out here who had it were bikers.
Yeah. Yeah.
It was a
Yeah, 'cause it was
white-
called crank back then because
Yeah,
you used to
crank.
hide in their crankshaft.
Yeah.
Is that why it's called? I didn't know that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they used to ship
Bathtub
the
crank.
bikers. The bikers used to ship it across country in their crankshafts. So
Yeah.
that's how they transported it when they did it back in the day.
Yeah. Very, very rarely did I ever get actual crystal meth. That's where it looks like fucking broken glass. You get what people called crank,
Yeah,
which
Have
was
you-
just fucking backyard boogie
Have you ever
shit.
seen the pictures of the transformation of the people over the years, the mug
Oh, yeah.
shots?
Yeah.
It's absolutely horrifying.
Terrible.
It's
Yeah.
like a fucking horror show.
Yeah, it's like zombie.
It's like, oh my god! They go from a normal person to someone who looks like they're having a hard time,
yeah.
to a zombie,
And it's-
like a horror movie.
But it's an arrest after an arrest after an
yeah,
arrest.
yeah,
yeah,
absolutely.
yeah.
I think
Oh.
if I didn't have ADHD, I would have definitely loved crystal meth.
Yeah.
I'm more of a downer type. I think when I do coke, it's like a social event for me. I like to do it at bar rooms or parties. I'm not a sit in my room by myself peeking out the window kind of guy.
Yeah, right.
I mean, I used to smoke crack and shit, but I would go up and down shooting heroin and then smoke crack, shooting heroin, smoke crack. But I would
Landing
always
gear.
make sure I had enough heroin if I had just a little bit of crack.
I knew people that were hyper and ADHD and stuff like that, and they would do coke and it would level them
Yeah,
out.
just-
And they would be chill.
Level playing.
They'd be
yeah.
be like a normal person instead of bouncing all over.
Yeah,
the place,
I always
you know?
just shot for that, that feeling that you got, the bell ringer, and then
Yeah.
I would just want to go back to that, warm blanket, and then
Yes.
just go back to the
yeah,
bell ringer
up
in the
and
back.
down. Yep.
Yeah, yeah.
And
I was never the one
never-
to run around naked and like watch endless hours of porn in my room by myself, waiting for helicopters to show up. Like I was never that guy.
They're out there.
Yeah,
That guy exists, though, I guess.
yeah, 100%.
I can remember getting crack and getting spending my whole paycheck and getting a cab from Brockton back to Norwell and like not wanting to go in the house and hitting the woods and being in the woods, smoking the rest of it by myself and having auditory hallucinations and shit and thinking that people are walking around next to me, and that is some lonely ass.
I can imagine smoking crack in the woods would
It's
be
like
an experience in itself.
Despair.
I've
right?
taken LSD in the woods before, and that was a whole nother experience.
Yeah, that's something completely different, but
Insane.
my God, it's gross. And then when you come down after smoking crack all night, it's the worst feeling. I don't know. I'd never want to.
Yeah.
I always hated the next day after
Yeah,
acid.
the bird. Oh, acid? Oh.
Yeah, the next day, your whole mouth just feels fucked up, and you're just like, you feel like sticky and slimy.
It's the worst, man. It's like it's almost as bad as being hungover, but like your body just hurts. Like your mouth from like just you don't even know what you're chewing on.
Exactly.
I remember I was in I went to Don Bosco my freshman year. I took acid. I dropped it in home, and my English teacher's like, "What's wrong with you?" I'm like, "What are you talking about?" She's like, "You have ink dripping down your face." I go, "What do you?" I'm like, "Oh shit!" I was chewing on a pen, and I had no idea that the ink exploded in my mouth, and I just had ink everywhere. And she's like, "You're excused." I was like, "Oh, thank God." I was just like,
Yeah.
That was back in the day when the combat zone was around. You know what I mean? You could just walk outside and see hookers everywhere.
Oh my God. Oh,
Yeah,
that was
so nice that that's not around anymore.
That was insane. Like we used to go up there like 16, 17 years old.
I mean, I
Fucking
would take
someone would have a car like, hey, let's go to the combat zone and just drive around for like a couple hours. Like fucking, it was madness.
I would take the
Yeah.
combat zone back over anything compared to what I've seen down in Mass Ave now.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah,
we
that's
were
a good
talking
point.
Yeah, I would take
Before the
hookers
show
and
started.
pimps over overdoses and deaths any day of the week. You know?
Those
Yeah.
people are. It's just like such a tragedy, such a sad sight to see. You know what I mean?
like I said, a friend of mine who's in the medical field shared a video the other day of. I don't even like to call it methadone.
No,
You know,
it's a whole
just-
nother word now.
Yeah, it's
something
up
else
at Melnia
now,
Casa, Mass Ave, and it's like, it's just insane up there now. What I saw in the video was just people like desperation, despair, like addiction as off the chain as you could see, but also like just trash everywhere. 'Cause
Yeah,
they're
I
like
saw-
herding all the people that are addicts and alcoholics to these one area. You know, it's like.
I
What
don't
are
know.
you preventing? You're not preventing anything.
You think they're pushing them there? The police?
Yeah.
I think with all the high rises going up, like I said, this could be controversial. I think they're trying to sell a lot more high rise condos that have been going up all over Boston, and they're pushing people out of certain areas and
Yep.
they're gathering them all in one area. That's possible, or that's just where everything is.
Yeah.
Right.
That's where the hospital is, and if somebody overdoses, they have a better chance of being revived.
Oh,
Or
that's
that's
where all
just-
the people who know where to score.
Yeah, pretty much. I
Go
mean,
down
nothing
there
on
and-
Mile is right around the corner, and they all congregate there. But I mean,
Yeah.
things have changed since the last time I was in Boston. Like, and that was a month ago. I'm usually here every month, and it's changed dramatically in a short amount of time. When I looked over there, it was like seeing a bottom that I've never seen before. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like that could be me tomorrow, because I
Absolutely.
tend to give away everything really quickly when I go out, and I'm out there
Yeah.
for a very long time. But like that's just. It was a whole nother world. It was like a zombie,
Scary, right?
zombie-ish
It's-
bottom that I've never
yeah,
seen.
It's scary to think that person could come back into my life. The me who was using.
Oh,
That
right.
person could come back into my life and take everything that I've worked for, everything that I love, everything that is dear to me. That person could take it away if I
Absolutely.
let that person come back.
And all it takes is like one split second to make the wrong decision.
Yeah,
You
one
make the wrong
bad
decision.
choice.
You know,
Yeah.
One
There's
old
no-
behavior.
and-
You're not guaranteed to come
but
back.
but like to look at what we see today compared to when I was out there ripping and running, it's like
Night
what
and
the
day.
f-
It's
Yeah.
it's
What
so
is going
bad.
on?
Yeah,
you know,
yeah.
and you know this always ends up being controversial, but like if someone needs to do medically assisted treatment, that's fine. But that's not meant to be a fucking lifestyle.
Yes.
Right.
You know? Like,
it shouldn't be meant to be a lifestyle anyway.
But that's all that they're pushing now.
Yeah, I mean, I always go into a certain treatment center when I come home to do, a panel. I'm not going to specifically name them, but it was my second home, and now they're quote unquote safety zones now. Like, you're in a holding facility on whatever substance, Suboxone, methadone, whatever. I mean, whatever keeps you from sticking a needle in your arm, but it's only prolonging that effect. I mean, from my experience only, it doesn't work. I mean, I'm just an empty shell. Like, I have no feeling. I have no attachment to anything. I have no emotion. I'm basically just maintaining.
Yeah, right.
It's basically just liquid handcuffs or whatever kind of cuffs you want to call it. There's no source of freedom in that way of living. And I get it. You want people off the street, but I mean, and to go from shooting heroin or doing meth to getting back on a maintenance drug is just, it blows my mind. Like, people go to prison now and they're allowed to be on medication.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know what I mean? To maintain.
I'm so glad. That's how I got sober, going to fucking jail to
But
detox.
you have to be sober to get on this stuff.
I know.
It makes no sense how this works.
Wait a minute. You have to be sober to get on Suboxone?
If you go to jail, you have to be, or more or less, you have to be
detoxed
from your drug of choice to get on Suboxone. I was on Suboxone for a while, and I had to be I had to give a clean urine off of heroin in order to get prescribed Suboxone. And I had to maintain that urine in order to keep getting prescriptions.
But another thing that I find, everyone that I've known or met that's been on those drugs was way overprescribed.
Oh, 100%.
They were getting way more than they needed. So now, which I think is so much better, is they have, I'm not going to say the name of it, but they have a shot.
Yeah.
It's buprenorphine shot that lasts like a month.
They had that.
So you're not handing a fucking drug addict, here's 3 8-milligram strips per day for a week. So here's 21 strips that you can sell for like $15 a piece.
That's what I did. I upped my dose with my doctor,
heroin.
and I sold the rest every single time. Same thing with Neurontins. Same thing with Klonopins. You name it. Everything.
All those drugs. And like I said, I'm not knocking anybody that's on that stuff.
No, none.
But please don't make that a lifestyle.
Like
this is something that's supposed to come. You're supposed to taper off of. And from what I hear, I've never taken a Suboxone, so I don't know what it's like. From what I hear, coming off of that is the worst detox that anyone I know has done.
It gets in your joints and your bones and stuff.
Well, the thing about it is
it lasts longer.
It's like a methadone that it's like a blocker.
Yeah.
All right. So when I first started using dope, there was this one dude that we used to hang out with, and he was on methadone. So he wouldn't be like a daily user, I got to get off E type of guy. Yeah. He'd be like, I just got paid. Let me get a bundle and do the whole thing to try to cut through this methadone.
Yeah, right.
You know, and that's dangerous as, I mean, talk about fucking OD.
Yeah,
risk,
that's crazy.
You know what I mean?
I know one person my whole entire life that's been in the clinic for probably 20-something years. Him and his girlfriend, they both met there. And they have 4 beautiful children, and they go to the clinic every day and so on and so forth. And they have a happy life together.
But are their bodies healthy?
They're on like probably 170, 200 milligrams a day of methadone. Wow. So imagine that if you ever had to kick that. I mean, it's fear, really. Fear is what drives everyone every day. And that's what put me on those situations where Suboxone or...
Yeah, because you didn't want to be sick.
Yeah, you didn't want to withdraw, so you found the next best thing was to maintain. And that's, from my own experience, was what I did. But this kid went from shooting heroin most of his life to get on Suboxone because he thought that was the only thing that worked. Because back then, the steps and the solution really wasn't pushed on anyone.
Yeah.
And, and he found a way of living. And he goes to work every day, provides for the family. But
I see plenty of people
it's one case. But then again, he'll never be able to travel to Bermuda or
Yeah,
And
because
he's
how
probably
how are you
not
going to get
gonna-
through TSA with your fucking take homes?
And he's
Make it
probably
happen.
not gonna live.
I mean,
a
he can't
long
take
life.
take homes because he doesn't go to the meetings. I guess you have to go to a certain amount
Oh
of
yeah,
meetings
yeah.
because they both work, so they basically just go every morning and get it. So it's like,
Yeah, and you keep.
how do you live a life like that? Not be able to travel. Like I travel a lot, and I love to go where I want when I want. It's just having something that in my life that implicates me showing up every day for something that had to fuel my life.
It's a dependency.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
It's a dependency. So, as far as recovery and with all this stuff, what's going on out in the West Coast?
I mean, the West Coast is pretty much all shut down. A couple meeting halls have opened up, like this place called the Marina Center where they have like morning, afternoon, and like 11 o'clock, almost like midnight meetings. Really, where like a lot of young people go to get sober. That was like the first place I heard of that opened up, and
Yeah, they're like what do they call them around here? Clubhouses.
yeah, clubhouses, like an Alano club or something. You know what I mean?
Yep.
And so I came back to Boston probably 3-4 months ago, and I reached out to a friend of mine that was in a home group that I was here, and she told me about an outdoor meeting in Andover, right? And I went there not knowing anyone, and they welcomed me, and I became friends with most of the people because I went there every single night because I was getting implants in my teeth, and I had to stay close to AA, and that was the only people I had to, and like I didn't know anybody.
Were you getting meds for pain and
No,
stuff?
I wasn't nothing but Motrin. You know what I mean?
Motrin.
So I
But
was
you
just-
didn't you wanted to.
But the
stay in
pain was so severe that I had to like not take that chance. You know what I mean? Because
Yeah.
I've gone out over Tylenol on 3s. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
I went on
Yeah.
a run on Tylenol 3s. But so I went to this meeting and I got to know these people, and I went every single night. And they even asked me to speak once, and I spoke. And I took the idea back to LA, man. I was talking to my worker, which is also my close friend of mine, and I was like, we need to start outdoor meetings. And we started.
And that's like you can social distance. People can wear masks. Like,
Yeah, it was all optional, and we picked this one park, and there was a lot of construction going on. There was a train going by because we played softball there on Tuesday nights, and it was just too loud. We never noticed the trains going by when we were playing softball, and so we went to this different park where this other meeting used to be held indoors, and it took off. Like maybe 10 people showed up, and now we're pushing 3 meetings a week with over 60 people in attendance. We have
Wow, that's good stuff.
we got chips. We have anniversaries that we celebrate. We
Yeah.
have literature now. It's
So do
unbelievable.
you do any of the Zoom meetings?
No, I've never done a Zoom meeting in my
Yeah.
life. This
I-
is as
it-
close
it-
as I've been to being
that-
online.
That blows my mind that people are actually getting sober doing that. It's
Th-
working for
A
people.
lot of newcomers show up at Zoom meetings, but they find outdoor meetings because it's an underground list now. Like
Yeah.
I'm listed, I guess, with the meetings, and I can't take credit for it because it's mostly just newcomers that showed up,
Yeah.
people in halfway houses or sober livings, and the word just spread like wildfire. I started a Facebook page
Yeah.
that people can join. We got like almost 100 members. I have a personal barbecue once a month. We have camping. It's called the Outdoor Adventures, so it's like anything outdoors.
Yeah.
We're with it. You know what I mean?
That's pretty cool.
If you actually go on Central Service here, it shows like there's a key for each meeting outdoors, meeting inside.
Oh, they changed it.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah. Because people were struggling, and this whole COVID and pandemic, all this shit is creating, I think, and I've talked with other people and they feel the same way, a whole different breed of alcoholics and addicts.
Oh, 100%.
That normally wouldn't have been an alcoholic or an addict had they not had to stay in their home, and now maybe don't feel comfortable, which they may have never noticed before when they were going on with their life and doing their thing and getting up and going to work. But now, if I'm going to have a couple drinks today, and then fucking before you know it, now they're raging alcoholic and they run into the liquor store every single day, and a lot of it could be out of boredom.
I could see that.
But this is I feel making a whole different set of circumstances for people that are going to trigger that allergy that
100%.
normally
It's certainly
would not
not
have
good
been.
for it.
I know a lot
Not
of
good
people
for
that had
addictions.
long-term recovery that's relapsed during this whole thing.
yeah.
Because they just were sick in their sobriety, and it's just one good idea.
Right. You could go to a fucking million meetings.
The liquor stores
throughout
didn't
your life.
close. They
Right.
remained open the whole time.
Right. And why was that?
Yeah.
Because you can't just shut an alcoholic off from alcohol.
Yeah, because they die.
They're a necessary need.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. They were
Essential.
Essential. Yes.
But people
Liquor
who
stores were
are
essential.
physically addicted to alcohol, they will die without
Right.
it. So
Yeah, 100%. You're going to
But
a
they're
seizure.
also closing everything, closing all the treatment centers. Like this, and now you get all these little pop-up fucking treatment centers that take high-end insurance, and it's a fucking serious business now.
Yeah.
Like recovery is a serious business, like
Big business.
billion-dollar
Yeah.
industry.
yeah,
With insurance and
that's
and
all fine
all the
as
private care and self-pay.
I mean, the insurance agencies did step up their game in the last year or so, because they did kind of like start merging together and kind of talking to each other and kind of know what's going on with the
Yeah.
whole like insurance racket thing. But I mean, it's going to take them a little while to figure the bugs out. I actually had someone contact me this year, 3 years later. Actually, it's 4 years later of a treatment I went to on Fugazi insurance.
Yeah.
You know, if anyone doesn't know what Fugazi means, I mean, look it up in the dictionary.
Yeah. Bullshit.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hey, you got $400? Yeah, all right. You're gonna buy a 1-month policy right now.
Yeah.
We're gonna ship you down to fucking Florida. We're
That's
gonna
how I
whack.
ended up in California.
We're gonna whack that insurance for $40,000 for your detox. You know what I
Really?
mean?
Yeah.
Then you're going to go to Afterkit IOP, and we're going to
Yeah.
hit them for another 40.
Yeah. And what do you
Ugh.
need? What do you need during the week? You need what? $500?
Cotton
Yeah. You
cigarettes.
need some smoke. You want a scooter? You want an iPad? All right, we got you. You know.
Wow, is that really?
Yeah,
that's
absolutely.
real.
I mean, a lot of
Absolutely.
people have been busted and is doing like big numbers, like life sentences over that shit.
Yeah.
Well, this is the thing. Like, it's fine to have it be a big business because big businesses get big things done. But
True.
you need, with something like recovery, you need the heart in it. You need to have the correct intentions. You know, you can't.
Yeah.
There's corruption is going to be in everything.
And that's
100%.
I've watched so many people get into it for the love of it, for
Yeah,
helping
until
people
the bank
until the
account
fucking
starts
checks
growing.
start coming in.
Yeah.
You know, and
My sponsee worked in a treatment as a cook, and he called me all the time about how corrupt it was, like how he found out that the owner was in with the clients that were being paid there. They were paying his own clients that are coming in from the outside to basically ride it out for a week and just collect money on it. And
Yeah.
he's like, I can't be around this. It's making me sick. And I go, well, COVID's your personal out. Tell them you don't feel safe. Have them lay you off, and then be out with it.
you're gonna make more money
And
later
it
on.
worked. You know what I mean?
Sure.
I remember a couple of years ago there was a treatment center down the street where the fucking staff was just going in and helping themselves to the fucking food, like taking home like fucking bags of chicken. It was insane. Like no one would be there at nighttime. The staff would go into the kitchen. They'd fucking raid the freezers, like just taking the fucking food
I mean,
that was
I'm
supposed to be for the
definitely-
clients.
I definitely did that at the Cushion House. I mean, I worked at the Cushion House as a counselor, and I would do my laundry there and steal laundry detergent. But later, I relapsed from that behavior.
Yeah, right.
I've
Well-
made amends for it not too long ago, but like that basically just took me out. It was my actions and my behaviors that brought me back to getting high.
It's
And
not an
turn
old
about
behavior
it.
if you're still doing it.
Yeah,
turn
exactly.
about-
Because I thought they were getting it from the food bank. I justified my actions because they had 100 bottles of detergent that I could just take one home for free when I worked 3 jobs and clearly can afford it. And I just justified the fuck out of it. And I
Yeah.
was like, all right. And then later on, I ended up high over it. So it was,
Well, at Turnabout, it was a different story. You were allowed to take food.
Right.
It was like
But it wasn't staff.
no
It was
clients,
It was residents
residents
who are still.
coming back.
Yep.
You're there. You're plugging into the house. You're
They know
going
you're
to the meetings,
struggling.
and they're there to help you. You make up a little box or something. And you take it
Yep.
home.
Right.
You know, we survived on that shit.
Absolutely. Like fucking.
Well,
you
the
know,
first apartment out of the treatment center, with the cabinets were full of turnabout food.
Yeah, because you get well job making $10 a fucking hour.
I literally was making $10 an hour, and I was only working 20 hours a week and paying rent.
Center?
Yeah, at the fruit center, and paying rent, dude. And I was working a turnabout overnight staff once a week.
Yeah,
and like so, yeah. I would have been fucked.
But that's a different story. That was allowed. You were told you could do that.
Yeah.
These people are getting a paycheck to fucking work there, and they're fucking stealing the food out of the freezers.
And plus, it was set up to where like everybody's contributing and asking for donations. It's all being donated, and it's a little different. It's not like a private insurance place. It's
right.
Just,
So you got some meetings started out there.
Yeah. So I basically started a couple meetings with a couple other guys, and we started fellowshipping with people even when we didn't have meetings. You know what I mean? And
yeah, because that's huge, man.
and we did it.
That's very
We're
cool.
not affiliated with AA because I posted it on another AA website, and they wouldn't allow the post, so they basically private messaged me and told me the reasons why in case someone got COVID at the meeting and it came back to them, they're at fault. And they go, all right, so we're not. AA wants to keep people indoors because of the whole COVID thing. And I was like, well, we'll just call it Outdoor Adventures. It's a meeting.
Yeah.
You call it what you want. It's a meeting of a solution-based meeting. It's not. That's why we don't do the preamble. That's why we don't do anything else. But we have AA literature. We have the big book, and all the speakers have been through the steps.
Right.
You know what I mean? They have something of their own experience to offer you a solution. You know what I mean?
I got a friend that has had a meeting run every single night since this shit started.
Yeah.
Fucking rain.
Awesome.
Doesn't matter. Hot, cold. Like this woman's been out. She's originally from Dorchester.
Is that the gazebo?
Yeah. She goes to the gazebo in Situate every fucking night.
Harbor.
She's had a meeting out there.
Yeah, that's awesome.
It didn't matter how many people showed up. Because she knows how important they work for her.
That's the main goal, is to get this to every night of the week if we can get it. Because it's self-run now. Everyone does their own thing. I don't have to be there to babysit it and make sure it gets working. But
and I understand the whole AA doesn't want to be responsible because I've seen fucking documentaries like no one is excluded from AA.
Yeah.
All are welcome here. Some people aren't fucking savory characters and they're fucking shitbags, and stuff has happened to people, and these people's family try and go back and sue AA. Like domestic violence, someone gets killed or whatever. Now they're
100%.
they met in a meeting. Okay.
Yeah.
Like, that doesn't mean fucking AA is responsible for what happened.
Right.
But so I understand that whole fact. That's why we say
we're not affiliated.
No one's responsible or affiliated with us.
Right.
This is our own opinions, our own experience. No one's responsible. These are our opinions. I try not to give advice to anybody.
They're not advice. It's not advice.
This isn't
it's
advice.
It's not treatment. It's just sharing information.
Yeah.
That we have found.
Yeah, you could take it or leave it or fucking barbecue it, whatever
exactly.
you feel like doing with it.
But if you need some help, we could point you in the right direction as well.
Yeah.
We're not saying that we know anything. I don't know shit. As soon as I think I know shit, I'm fucked.
But yeah, what if we had people that were like talking about waited from the next day to go to this meeting because they were like so impatient that was like their week for them.
Yeah.
Because they had nothing else to do.
Yeah.
So that encouraged me to start even more meetings. And, it's a 20-minute speaker. And then after that, it's 2 to 3 minutes sharing on whoever the person picks. And it's just a really good meeting, man.
Yeah, that's awesome. And it's helping so many people.
So many newcomers are showing up. It's crazy.
Yeah.
That's great.
Because we do like burning desires. We have anyone under 30 days raise their hand to begin with so we can recognize who they are.
What about the bathroom? You guys got a bathroom?
There's a bathroom there. Yeah, it's in a park. There's a bathroom like not even 100 yards away.
Wow, that's great.
Listen, the shit out there is different than the shit back here.
All Angus. Now we're getting to the movement where we're about to rent the park out for that hour, and we're going to get a sound system because it's growing so big, and we're going to get electricity from one of the poles, and it's going to be a whole thing.
Yeah.
Hopefully run after meetings go back into the halls.
And the
that's cool.
funny thing is, like,
good stuff.
Throughout all this, I run a refuge recovery meeting also on Tuesday nights, and the recovery center just opened back up. at South Shore Peer Recovery Center in Scituate, and like there's some people that are looking for recovery, but they hear AA and they don't want to do it.
100%.
You know,
They've
and
had
I don't know
bad
why that
experience.
is. I don't, you know, maybe like fucking they had a bad experience, or someone in their family was in AA and they were a fucking asshole. I have no idea. But like outdoor adventure, whatever, like that's people are just going to come in and they're going to get the same thing, whether they know it or not. But you know, because pretty much everything, every recovery process started with the big book.
100%.
You know,
yeah.
and
Shout out 2 guys sitting down.
yeah, and they use it for friggin' Drug Addicts Anonymous, Overeaters
Overeaters,
Anonymous,
Gamblers.
Gamblers Anonymous.
Sexers
The same
Anonymous,
book.
all
All
of
you
it.
do is just switch the word, because it's, you know, people know that it works. It's a 12-step process. You know, like even Russell Brand, you know, how to unfuck yourself. He basically took all that text and just switched shit around so that people are like, oh, all right, I'm not really doing AA, but you're doing a 12-step process.
Yeah.
You know, because
Yeah.
it's some
Same
of the best
idea.
results.
Anything to fucking free your mind from that.
Yeah,
That fucking miserable way of living.
yeah, and
That repetitive life that
for
you
me,
used to.
I've been in recovery long enough that like I've realized that just the 12-step process isn't gonna fucking fix everything
No,
in my life.
not anything.
You
No,
know,
that's
it
for
ain't gonna
sure.
fix everything up here. You know, there's other things that I need to do. So that now, this is why I'm involved in the refuge recovery, the Buddhist path towards recovery. You know, I listen to all kinds of different stuff. That, you know, meditation, which they talk about in 12-step recovery, prayer and meditation. Meditation is huge.
Huge.
Oh, it's
Huge.
really, really good.
And
yeah.
and I wish I got more involved a long time ago. And people, it's not like people weren't telling me about it. It's
Yeah.
not like there's a, you
It
know,
wasn't a
people were
secret.
saying it. Yeah, it wasn't a secret.
Yeah.
Just, you know, my life may have turned out a lot different had I got involved earlier.
Meditation, yeah, you think?
But it's happening exactly the way it's supposed to.
the way it's supposed to
you know?
happen, that's right.
I'm just trying to be a better person, you know, for
You
the most part.
back then you were learning other things that you had to learn.
Yeah.
Now you're learning something
Yeah, and I
new.
still fuck those up too. Like anything that could go
Yeah.
wrong in recovery has gone wrong
Yeah.
with me, but only thing I've done 100% is not pick up.
Yep.
That's it. And fuck for 18 fucking years.
Yeah, you've been sober
amazes
for
me.
grip.
Yeah, it's amazing that every year you're like, why didn't I know that last year?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And
Right.
There's a next year. There's gonna be something else you wish you knew.
Yeah.
You know, it just
and
keeps unfolding.
yeah, the universe is funny. It'll keep presenting you the same lesson until you fucking learn it.
Yeah,
Dude,
100%. I've definitely been one that got burnt by the stove multiple times.
Yeah.
Kept going back and like, I don't think it's that hot right now. And
Yeah.
just fucking,
Oh, it'll be different this time.
100%. And,
Dude, you sit there and anesthetize yourself. You know, you numb everything out. You don't learn anything for years and years.
Yeah,
and then all of a sudden
and it doesn't
there's
even have
just
to
so
be
much.
drugs.
even
not
sober.
drug. Yeah.
Like, fucking,
Yeah.
it takes a while to,
Yeah,
for your fog
could
to
be
clear.
it could be women, it could be work, it could be money, it could be fucking stuff. You know,
But-
we could numb ourselves out with whatever we want.
True.
Yeah,
Right,
I mean,
it's
you
just
can get in a
this-
pattern with anything.
Mm-hmm.
You know
There's
what I
so
mean?
much to life that you miss out on when you're actively using though, is what I'm
Oh,
saying.
yeah,
You know what I mean?
absolutely.
You think, oh, I'm going to be so bored.
Yeah,
And it's really like there's so much to life. There's so much more. And there's beauty in everything. There's beauty in even the fucking shit days.
right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
You just
It
look
depends
back
on
and
how
think,
you're looking at it. Right.
Man, I don't got to put shower shoes on though, do I?
Right.
You know what
And
I
if I
mean?
want
And-
to put shower shoes on, I
I
can.
can.
I can get me some nice ones.
100%.
That's right.
Yeah.
You know. And
Right?
You know, we were talking about the jails with the maintenance drugs.
Yeah.
Plymouth House Corrections is the only one that didn't jump on board.
Really?
Yep.
I had no
Because
idea.
they're private. They're like, no.
I never been to Plymouth.
Yeah.
I would always
That's
stay
where
on
I- that's
this
where
side
I
of
ended up.
town
That's
when
where
I did
ended up.
crime.
Yeah. That's where I found AA and that's where my journey started. And when I was talking to the sheriff, we actually had him on the show. We had the DA and the sheriff at one of Susie's things.
Yeah.
24-hour
Brockton.
power.
At the Buffalo Wild Wings.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We had them on
good.
real quick, and then we've met with them since, and they're like, no, we're not jumping on with that, because they see, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's no good.
Yeah. And
then we had the future sheriff on, maybe.
Oh yeah.
I mean, drugs are still going to make their way into the prison system regardless.
Absolutely.
But it doesn't help by fucking having it
And
like,
do they think
legal.
do they think that these guys aren't gonna figure out a way to fucking cheek this shit?
Yeah, 100%.
You know what I mean? Motherfuckers got to eat.
Yeah.
And if all right, I'm getting Suboxone strips every day. They're gonna figure out a way, because they figured out a way to get it in there.
Yep.
I knew many people that caught habits in jail because of fucking
plenty
getting
of people.
Suboxone.
No, plenty of people that have been stabbed over catching habits and not be able to pay for it.
Yeah.
Dude, do you think that the pharmaceutical companies said to themselves, yeah, no, we could really help these people in prison. Maybe we could get them off drugs by putting our Suboxone into the fucking
No,
prisons.
they talked to their accountant.
Yeah, they went,
and they said,
you know
hey,
what? There's a
how
revenue
much
stream
more can
here.
we charge?
What's the next business plan?
Yeah, how much more can we charge a county for a strip of Suboxone than we can charge a person,
A pharmacy.
an
individual
insurance company?
Or insurance company, yeah.
You know, imagine what the cost is now for a fucking inmate for the day when he's getting 24 milligrams too.
You can only imagine.
It's gross.
It is.
It's sad.
It's insane.
It's gross. And it's, you miss out on the beauty of life.
But also, they don't inform people.
Yeah, you don't hit a bottom in prison if you're on a maintenance drug because you come out with a habit.
Yeah, but they also don't inform, even on the fucking street. Here, take this. This will make you feel better. But they don't say, wait till you try and come off it. You're going to feel like fucking shit.
Yeah, but I don't think anybody would be like, oh, yeah, you know what? I'm not going to have that. I don't want to.
Yeah.
They'd be like, give me that.
Yeah, right. In that moment. In that moment,
they'd always choose to grab it.
But it's, it's just...
Yeah, never once have I gone to a doctor and say, or her say that you're going to have the worst withdrawal symptoms coming off this. They're always like, listen, you can't take this. Well, you have something in your system because you're going to have bad withdrawal symptoms. They've never said, like, after you consistently take this for more than a week, you were going to withdraw worse than you are now to get on it.
Right.
Never once have I ever heard that come out of a...
So you said you were in a motorcycle accident.
Yeah, I got hit on my motorcycle about a month ago.
So now did you end up taking any pain meds?
Yeah,
for that?
I had to take Vicodin. They're called knockouts in Cali, but I had to take them for 3 days.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was a scary situation. I've never done anything taken as prescribed.
So while all this was going on, you already had...
I was pretty successful.
You already had these meetings in place.
Yes, I had these meetings in place.
So kind of makes you think, like, okay, did all this happen? Did I start all this so that I had a place to go? Because had you not had a place to go and you were just fucking stuck in the house with COVID and working and you started taking Vicodins, could have been a whole fucking different story.
Been different.
Crazy situation. I got hit on the motorcycle in California. The next morning, I was in Boston.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
So I had the meetings that I initially went to 3.5 months ago in Andover to relieve my comfort.
Outside meetings in
Andover?
Andover?
Yeah, the outside meetings in the parking lot at the skating rink. And they grew to over 70 people from like the 10 people I was there like prior to that. So then I found out about the Charlestown meeting, and I started going to that one as well. They have meetings 2 times a day.
Yeah.
At the bleachers near the high school. Near the projects. Yeah, near the high school. And I just stayed close to AA, man. I stayed close to talking to people. I talked to my sponsor, and just basically anyone that could help me, more or less.
And that's the thing, like when we don't rat ourselves out and we try and I'll be okay. I'll just take these, and I'm not.
Right,
I won't
keep
say
it
anything.
all
because
keep it all in.
Because there can be a lot of judgment in that as well.
100%.
Oh, yeah.
I've relapsed every time taking pain medication.
Yeah, but people just say, "Oh, listen,
root canal.
if you're in fucking pain." Personally, thank God I haven't had to take anything.
Yeah,
I had my appendix taken out, and I told them that I was, addict in recovery. The fucking nurse made me a bracelet that they have to look at before they do any surgery.
Yeah.
It said no opioids. I said, listen, if you're knocking me out and you give me a painkiller, that's fucking fine. I don't want to wake up and feel fucking high. That's it.
Right.
And I'm not going to take anything home. They're like, are you sure? I'm like, I'll take fucking Advil and Tylenol. I'll be good. Because I don't want to trigger that.
100%. I tried Motrin and Tylenol the first 24 hours after getting hit by a car.
After the accident?
I couldn't walk. I was unbearable. I
Yeah.
mean, I've gone through some serious pain because I've been on a motorcycle accident prior to that, and I've gone out for a couple of years due to that relapse. But I just was like, you know what? I kept that script. I didn't fill it immediately. I basically waited, and then I went and I filled it, and I took it as prescribed because it was life or death.
Yeah.
Like, I knew what my past was, and I've relapsed over every prescription medication I ever took, which I had a couple of root canals done with some access, and I had pain medication from that. Like I said, the Tylenol 3, I went on a run with that. Tore meniscus during sober softball. I went on a run from that, and then I got hit. I got in a motorcycle accident, and I got put on painkillers for a couple of months because I was pretty bad, like 80% road rash, and I went on a run from that. I didn't choose to go to detox. I just choose to go back out.
Right.
You know?
Yeah, I remember years ago, my sponsor, Joey, had his shoulder surgery, and he says his idea was he had to take the pills as prescribed because he was afraid that he was going to wake up and be in so much pain that he would go and get something on the street. You know what I mean? And so I just remember him saying it was really hard, and he remember looking himself in the mirror with the pinned eyes and just being like, scared.
Yeah. But when you're honest with yourself and then you're honest with other people.
Yeah, I called my sponsor immediately.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I was like, listen, dude, this is a situation. This is what's going on. I don't think I can handle it. I was like, I don't know what I should do. I was like, but I am going to Boston tomorrow morning. And I was like, heroin is very accessible for me. Not only heroin and fentanyl. So being sober 3 years and some change, me copping some heroin just to get some fentanyl to kill some pain,
boom,
I'm fucking dead.
Dead.
Immediately.
That's right.
Doesn't matter if I do a match head or half a match head, I'm fucking dead.
Yeah. Or even trying to buy something else.
100%. I even know, like, my mother knows the type of jeopardizing that I'm in, because when I went to the dentist, she's like, I'm going to go with you.
Yeah.
When I just had my teeth done, she's like, I'm going to go with you. And it's not because she was giving me a ride, in case I was in pain after, which I was, because I got implants in. She was going there to tell them, like, listen, this kid can't take any fucking opiates.
Right.
Because he's going to go on a run, and then my life is ruined. And so, like, this time with the accident, I couldn't even tell my mother. Like, you know what I mean? I called her immediately. I was on the sidewalk in pain, thought my ankle was in 3 pieces, and I was like, Ma, I just got hit on the way to the hospital. I'll call you later.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I didn't. She's like, did you take painkillers? I was like, I was honest with her. It was the first 24 hours. I was like, no, I didn't take anything. But then the next day, it was a different story. I didn't sleep
now
all
you
night.
Back here.
I was in agony pain. I was getting on a plane. The pressure alone was just fucking, it was tremendous.
Oh, yeah. I bet.
So I copped out, and, I got the prescription, and I just stayed on top of it, man. I fucking every 6 to 8 hours, I took one.
Do you have a sponsor?
Yeah, 100%. Same sponsor that I've had since I first got sober.
So you probably share with them, like.
Yeah,
right?
he knows everything that's maintained with me. So, like, my sponsor took me through the 12 steps within the first 3 months of my sobriety. He came to my sober living every week, sat with me for an hour, 2 hours sometimes, and went through this process. And he basically did word by word, page by page, and took me through this. And I met him in a $40,000 a month treatment center that I got sent to on an insurance base. And the only reason why I never heard this guy's story, the only reason why I asked him to be my sponsor is because he treated me like a human being when I was less than. You know what I mean? Like, every morning he woke me like, good morning, Chris. Time to get up. And I would already be up. And he'd be like, why are you always up with your bed mate? I'm like, man, I'm just grateful to just be in a place like this. You have no idea what the places are like back home. I'm like 40 guys in like pajamas that have been shit and pissed in sweat. Like,
Going from
government
to
meals,
like
we got a chef, like a swimming pool, like I got my own TV, like this is great.
Yeah.
The worst one I was ever in was the Shattuck Hospital. That was bad.
Andrew Detox on the island was my first detox, and I had to go back there 3 weeks later because I did detox from detox because I was on like a 6-year run.
Yeah.
And I was like fucking shooting like 3 grams a day, and it was ugly. And back then, like heroin was strong. You know what I mean? It wasn't this fentanyl shit.
Yeah, exactly. And like you see people you see people that are doing fentanyl now, and it's like the high from the fentanyl is so short that they have to do way more and like way more often. Because like I remember back in the day, I would get these bags. They were called up and down. I would do 1 or 2 bags all fucking day. That would be it.
Yeah.
And then you get some shit where you have to do like 25.
Yeah.
You know, throughout the day. But like even just watching a intervention, because I've never done fentanyl either. I don't know what that feels like.
Right. Who knows?
And this girl on the show had a fucking 5-gallon bucket of needles in her room.
Wow.
Because she would have to shoot up like every hour, every
Yeah, it's
2
crazy.
hours.
It literally,
Oh,
you
God.
shoot up, you look at wallpaper, you wake up, and then you're like sick 45 minutes later.
Yeah.
It's,
You're licking
her-
wallpaper?
yeah, you're just like,
Her arms would fucking
just face
destroyed.
plant up against the wall, and just like not even coherent to the world.
Yeah.
Like heroin had like a shelf life.
Yeah,
you know
it's
what I mean?
like fentanyl is not fun, but it's addictive. You're like you're on that maintenance.
Extremely. And it's like, why? You know, why is that even around?
That was the first thing that came to mind when it was a reminder. Was the COVID. I was like, how the fuck do you steal in this thing? Like, how do you operate as a fucking drug addict in a society that's shut down?
Absolutely.
It's like
I can't even
I
go to
was
the store and
wondering-
boost.
yeah, I
I
can't
was
even
wondering
go
about
fucking
that,
steal.
too.
But then you're like, well, everyone's wearing a mask. No one's gonna know who I am when I rob a bank.
Yeah.
But then you go in a bank, it's only like 6 people at a time. They got security checks. It's like,
Yeah.
what
right.
the fuck?
I can't give you this note, lady.
6 feet away. Like,
You fucking hold up a big note.
it's fucking crazy. Everyone's behind a bubble.
Give me the money. Don't call anybody, please. You got like a whiteboard.
When I got sober, it was a lot of people robbing pharmacies back then.
Oh,
Yeah, back in the day, that
yeah,
was.
yeah.
jump at the counter at the pharmacy.
Nobody's doing that anymore. I don't
No,
think.
because
Oxys aren't around as much anymore.
Yeah.
Well,
I mean-
OC80s aren't around anymore
You
because
get
of the
30s.
fact that the pharmaceuticals finally got rid of them.
you get perk 30s, but
Yeah, but
Yeah.
that doesn't. That's not worth hopping in a pharmacy for. You know.
Right.
Yeah.
At least in my book, I know like there's a difference between the perk 30s and the OC80s, where I think the OC80s had a addictive chemical in them that basically ruined your life.
Yeah.
And you just wanted more
Yeah.
all the time, and it was a high you never experienced even on heroin. It was fucking unreal. And I even say today, I'm like, if I ever came across a bag of OC80s, I have no idea what I would do.
right.
I don't know if I'd be sober at that moment.
That's like someone from the 70s finding a whole fucking bag of
Quaaludes.
Quaaludes.
Yeah, I remember those. I did them right before they disappeared.
Really?
The lemon heads, yeah. $7 for a great weekend. Because you just cut it in half, and you're like, you just take one and you go for 7 to 10 hours. And then the next day you take another one, another
Fuck.
half, and it was the best, cheapest way to get fucked up. It
That's
was awesome.
crazy. Crazy.
And I'm not that old. I mean, I may look old, but I'm
Yeah.
I'm there.
You're younger than me, I think.
Yeah, I'm 40.
Yeah, I'm 48.
Yeah,
I never got those.
I'm
miss a
49.
good time.
I know, right? But, on that note,
Yeah.
so, yeah, I'm glad that you hit me up. We tried making it happen last time, but didn't end up working out. When, actually, I think someone we were supposed to have on ended up flaking on us, so we probably could have had you on the last time you were out here, but
It is what it
I
is.
can't
worked
believe you
away.
fly back and forth so often. It's pretty
Yeah,
cool.
I mean, it's the life that I wish I always had. And
right.
I have it.
And it's it's great.
Second
to
You know what I
none.
mean? Because I watched you struggle fucking, I've known you for a while.
Yeah,
You know what
I've
I
been
mean?
in and out of the halls fucking 13, 14 years. Like, I was
Yeah.
27 when I came in on bank robbery charges, and I got sober for a short amount of time on a court card. But, I mean, short amount of time, meaning like 3 years, but then I crashed my motorcycle. But I was already mentally relapsed before that happened.
Yeah. Yep.
And, I was back and forth like a tennis game, in and out, in and out, in and out. And I always knew what sobriety and happiness was together. And
Yeah.
I've always had brief moments, but I never truly took the leap in like doing all my financial amends, which I've done this time, and it's fucking life changing, man.
And you're in a position to do that.
Yeah,
You know
100%.
what I
I've made amends where I never thought I would be in the location or the place to do them. Like Loon Mountain,
Yeah.
I had no idea I was going to be at Loon Mountain last year snowboarding, and like I was like, now's the time to do it. I'm like, I'm here.
Yep.
And I stole fucking ski gloves from them when I was like 13 years old.
Really?
Like bundles of them. back then when they had like the glow ones, like the fucking neon gloves,
Yeah.
they're like $80 gloves.
Yeah.
I stole like fucking 10 pairs, you know? Like, just
At
like
13?
yeah.
Fucking
I was
Dorchester
a
kids.
thief
Yeah.
before I was a drug addict, man. It was the behaviors
Yep.
that's what gets me high, and that's
Absolutely.
what brought me
Yeah.
out there. It was
First
just
time I ever got caught was Bradley's, and it was when like the foam grips came out for your bike.
yeah, and I don't even think I used or kept any of those gloves. Like,
Right.
I think I stole them for approval from my brother. You know what I mean? It was it was plain and simple. And then I made amends for that. I made amends for a whole bunch of other financial amends, like places I never thought I'd walk into and do it.
People don't think that that's really important.
Oh,
you know?
it's fucking tremendously blossomed my sobriety in ways that I've never thought it would do.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Because
It's-
now you have nothing.
It's an insurance policy that,
Yeah.
that basically keeps me going. It's
Because
crazy.
now you have nothing on your fucking checklist on the bad side.
No,
you know.
not that I know of. And if things do crop up, I try to make them when I can.
Yeah.
You know, when I run into people, especially like people I've harmed in the past, I run into them all the time, and I'm saying, listen, let's just sit down and go over this.
Yep.
Like I just did recently, last time I was here, with a long friend. We both know him. I haven't seen him in a long time, and I got held up on some certain situations. I was selling stuff in my sobriety, and I held him accountable for it. But I took the pinch, and because I knew what I was doing, I took 100% fault, and it got reconnected, man. I made amends to him. I was like, listen, any way I could pay anything back, like
Nice.
I'm good to go. Like he's like, no, you're good, man. And I was like, all right, cool. I was like, as long as we can get that friendship back, that's all that matters.
Right. Right.
Yeah, there's certain things that block you off from the good life or the
Yeah.
power that you should have.
The sunlight of the spirit.
And the sunlight of the spirit, and you don't even realize it. You know what
Yeah,
I
I
mean?
mean, I've written off friends for all this stupid shit, man. Stupid shit. Stealing my drugs or like stealing my girlfriend. It's like,
yeah.
it's like, how many times have you done that to somebody?
Right.
Or, like,
Exactly.
I've stole somebody's wallet and helped them look for it.
Yep.
How close was it to the girlfriend being the drugs that he was stealing too? Right?
Yeah. Right. All right. Well, it was awesome to have you back.
Using people like drugs.
It was
Glad
awesome
that-
to be back.
Yeah,
Glad
thanks,
that you're
Chris.
doing well.
We appreciate you coming back. Yeah, it's
Hopefully
definitely
shit
a
gets-
success story, huh?
Hopefully them fucking fires get put out, man. That's
Oh
fucking
man,
crazy.
I pray for everyone, especially my friend Matty. He's in critical condition right now. He got in a motorcycle accident up north where those fires were, and
Yeah.
he's been in surgeries every day for the last week now, trying to save his
Wow.
limbs and shit. It's pretty bad. And,
Wow.
I take a chance every day. I get on my motorcycle because I'm back out riding again, and it's basically people that drive that don't pay attention or text messaging and stuff like that. It's pretty bad out there. But just keep him in your prayers if you can. Keep everyone that's in the fire situation and the fire zone in their prayers. But
Yeah. Lost a kid that
Yeah, man.
that I met and we hit it off pretty good the other day. This kid Bart Loftus, and also someone that was an amazing graffiti artist. Did a lot with Susan Lordy. He went by the tag Mize.
yeah,
He ended up passing away a couple weeks ago. It's this disease is still fucking full
Still
force.
taking,
you know what I
yeah.
mean? And all it takes is one bad decision. And it could be any one of us.
Yeah.
So if you're out there struggling, ask for help, man. It's a lot easier than you think it is.
Yeah, and the thing is, it's a beautiful life.
Yeah.
And there's so much to life.
You can
that
do
you're
anything
missing
you
out on.
want in sobriety.
You know?
anything you want. I mean, I do whatever the fuck I want, whenever I
Like,
want.
bro, do you ever think you'd be working up like near Beverly Hills and fucking
Dude,
Flying back and
I'm like, do
forth.
these people even know who I am? Like, they give me fucking passcodes and shit into fucking $20 million mansions, and I'm like,
I just robbed a bank.
they
fucking
have
10
no
years
idea
ago.
my past. Like,
I
and they
know.
don't care because I'm fucking trustworthy, man.
Yeah.
It's funny. I see the you do your little videos.
Yeah, yeah.
the
I'm
progress
starting to
in
do
the
my own
houses, and
shows
I'm
and
like,
shit.
I'm like, fucking shit. Look at this fucking kid. That's
yeah,
awesome.
man, life's been
Good
good,
stuff,
man. It's
man.
like it's your actions speak louder than your words,
Absolutely.
and it's crazy that I'm actually trusted between my family members, especially my mother, my stepdad, and like the people around me, like my
You know what
clients.
it was? It was the good luck of you coming on the podcast last time.
Yeah, I mean, guys,
Listen, you get sober. There's no limits to what you can do.
No
and what you
limits.
can
That's
achieve.
it.
100%.
The sky ain't the limit. There ain't no fucking limit.
No
There you
limit at
go.
all, man.
Yeah.
Fucking, you could do whatever you want, whenever you want. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
It's just whether or not you're willing to pay the consequence for it.
Right. That's true too.
Yep.
All our actions have consequences. All right.
All right, that's 1 hour right
Thanks,
there.
brother.
Thanks,
All right.
Chris.
LOLterms.com.
Please subscribe, everybody.
Like, subscribe, share.
Please share.
Yeah, you know, the audio podcast it's awesome.
Yeah,
You know, like
sounds good.
You can just pop it on in the car, fucking, you know
Right.
what I mean, or at home if you're not able to get out to a meeting.
What was
That's
the
why we
last one?
started this.
What was
Yeah.
the last one I just put out? 107?
105.
105
Tina. Yeah. So we got 105
episodes.
podcasts.
Yeah, I love
Podcast.
scrolling through Facebook and seeing this shit.
Yeah.
I just pop it on. I'm like, what's up, guys?
Yeah.
Just fucking, it's awesome. Like,
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, you know, if
so
you
reach
can't get
out to these guys if you got a story to tell.
Absolutely.
Fucking-
Always looking for guests.
I
Yeah,
want
man.
to. I want to hear it personally. I want to hear your story.
Right. Awesome.
Cool, Chris.
All right.
Thank you.
Thank you. Peace.
Peace.